What is up, everyone? What is up? Welcome to episode 53 of the STS Guys. I am Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey guys, it's Nate.
And we don't have Scott today, but
Scott's out sick.
Scott's out sick.
Scott's out sick. We are the STS Guys, a weekly podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool.
Out sick.
What has been going on, guys? What has been going on?
Oh, you know, I went to Las Vegas.
Yeah, you checked in with us from Las Vegas. I said you had a pretty epic time in Las Vegas.
I did until I got yelled at for watching my own podcast when I was supposed to be with my family.
Oh no,
it's okay. We were eating dinner. 9 o'clock comes around. I get the notification. I'm like, of course I gotta go on YouTube. We weren't doing anything too much, but yeah, I got a dirty look and I had to put my phone up. That's all right.
I know about those looks, Larry.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's supposed to be non-podcast time, but 9 o'clock comes around on a Saturday night, and it's time for the STS Guys.
Hey,
yeah, I get it for checking my Instagram too much.
Yeah, that one too.
Priorities, guys. Like I said, it means you're invested. You're invested in, like I said, in the podcast. And like I said, we've been going a year strong. I said we're family. We're family now. So it's like checking in. It's like checking in with a member of your family.
It's true.
Yeah, right? Like I wanted to see what you guys were going to talk about.
Yeah, when you're away from it, you miss it.
Yeah, for sure.
I wonder what the guys are about now.
Kind of funny story that I think I told Jeremy, but not Nate. It was actually that day too. Saturday night, we took a lift to some stores and then to eat and stuff. But the lift picked us up at the hotel. Dude was already there when I set it up. But we get in fine. It was like a 10-minute drive or whatever. But me and my wife, when we got out of the car, both of our pants were wet. We didn't notice when we were sitting there, but when we both stood up, like I kind of noticed it, and she said something, and I'm like, "That's weird." So, what do you guys think it was? Was it like somebody spilled water? Did they pee themselves?
That is concerning. I hope it's water.
Yeah, like I tried to brush it off like it was nothing, but. That was the weirdest lift experience I ever had. You couldn't feel it when you were sitting on the guy's seats, right? It was a Jeep Liberty. Still remember the car. That guy did not get 5 stars. Probably not his fault that somebody peed in the back seat or something, but it was gross.
Not to alarm you, but like I said, in every lift that I've been in when I've gone to Vegas, I said they won't let me take my drink in. So
right.
That means it has to be from the other list.
It could have been a really sweaty guy or something too, but that's not much better.
It was a really sweaty guy if you both got wet. Like I said,
yeah, I know both sides. I know both sides.
The guy that take up the entire back seat. So
yeah,
I think you sat in PT, my friend.
I think we're freaking Larry out here a little bit. He's like,
man,
I was really betting on that being water.
I tried to brush it off, but yeah, we didn't talk about it much after that. But that was our trip to Jollibee. I went to the Filipino fast food restaurant Jollibee for the first ever time. Got some spaghetti and chicken, some delicious gravy.
Chicken Joy.
It was a good time. Yeah, Chicken Joy.
It looked delicious. Was it delicious?
It was okay. The chicken was pretty good. The spaghetti was a little but I discovered that if you dipped your spaghetti into the gravy, it tasted a lot better.
Nice.
Not a traditional Filipino move, but I play by my own set of rules.
We showed off your picture because of thickness from Vanilla Ice. Like I said, as to how close you got to the stage.
Yeah, it was a good time. Like that was the most ridiculous concert I've ever been to as far as like security goes. There were seats, right? So it was assigned seats. We were in the 3rd row, kind of off on the side, but we had designated seats we were supposed to sit in, as did everyone else. But as we walked up, like we got there a little bit late. Everybody was already standing in the aisles. You could fit like 3 people deep in front of the front row. Like the whole time, like everybody was just kind of gathering wherever they wanted. So Vanilla Ice was the headliner. He was the only reason I was there. I didn't care about Naughty by Nature. I didn't care about Tone Moke. I was there just to see Vanilla Ice. So when he went on, like he was kind of staying in the middle of the stage. So I'm like, all right, if I'm going to get a good picture of this, I got to jump over some seats and push my way up to the front. So I jumped over some seats and pushed my way up to the front. It's totally worth it. It's a pretty good time. I don't know if you guys or anybody in the chat or anything's ever been to one of those like retro 90s, 80s concerts, but they're a mess, man. Like, especially in Vegas when like it's all these old people who are really drunk and high, and doing dancing and just being belligerent and ridiculous, way more crazy than they needed to be. And me and my wife were just sitting there like, yeah, okay, unfairly judging them as they just shake their ass and just totally like. There's a guy, like old guy, like business suit guy, like just rocking a polo. He stood up and screamed like the entire time, man. It was just, it was nuts.
They're getting back into the way they used to feel back in the 90s listening to those songs.
I think that's what it is. Because we're talking like 40-year-old people, man. I was on the younger side for that crowd, and they were just totally smashed. And yeah, it was crazy.
Like I said, for that concert, you already had 3 strikes against you. One, it's in Vegas. People are drunk, and they legalized weed. So you got the trifecta of basically bad concert experiences.
Well, and it's old school Vanilla Ice. You got Tone Loc there. Man, that guy must be old now. And does he still have a super deep voice?
Yeah, kind of. You can tell that he doesn't like to do it, though. I'm guessing he like hurts his throat now. He didn't do it very much. He talks in his normal voice like most of the time, and when he sang his songs, he talked in his normal voice. Kind of the best part, though, is most of those people, most of the acts, right? So it was like Tone Loc, Biz Markie, I think it's the Naughty by Nature already, like those kind of guys. But almost everybody, like they played for 20 minutes each, maybe 25. Almost everybody ended up covering somebody else's song. Like somebody did a Snoop Dogg song, 2 Live Crew did a DMX song, and I'm like, come on, you guys. Like, I know you probably are one-hit wonders and stuff, but do you have to do other people's songs? You got to be able to do something to pass the time. But nope.
Say that 2 Live Crew didn't cuss at all either.
Yeah, 2 Live Crew, and I think it was Rob. No, it was 2 Live Crew. Yeah, 2 Live Crew didn't cuss. Like yeah, it was really weird, right? At some point, like again, filler, like because they didn't have enough songs to play. So at some point, he's like, "Hey, Las Vegas, you guys are getting the Raiders now, right? That's awesome. Like the Raiders are the best team. Like when I yell out a team, like the Bengals, you guys yell out ain't-ish." And he's like, so Bengals, ain't-ish. Packers, ain't-ish. It was so awkward because he didn't want to say shit. He just said ish over and over and over again. I'm like, what is happening? And then one of the other acts too did it. I'm like, I don't like, other people cussed, like Naughty by Nature totally cussed. So it's not like there was a rule where they couldn't. It was just that these guys made a choice that they didn't want to do that. I just thought it was really odd, right? They sang a song called Pop That Coochie, and 2 Live Crew doesn't want to say the S word. It was weird.
PG-13.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Weird.
We're getting old.
That's awesome.
That is kind of strange, though. You're like, hey, your original song wasn't even like this, and you're changing it.
Yeah, it was really, really weird, but it was a good time. I don't know, like those old school concerts are weird. It was like $40. I'm glad it was only $40.
That's awesome. No, that's good. Like I said, you had a good time. I had a little bit of a rough week myself. Like I said, I had one of my dogs pass away, so that kind of sucked. But like I said, he's in a better place.
Yeah, that's sad. Moment of silence for Drax.
Yeah. Oh, force him out for the homies. So, Drax was a good guy. Like, it's just weird because I said it's the second dog that I've actually had pass away this year. It just sucks.
Yeah, that's a tough year, man. It's a tough year.
But Nate, where are you up to this week?
Well, today was Batman Day.
Batman Day. No, Batman Day.
No, Batman. Yeah, if you guys know me, I love my Batman. So I was celebrating hardcore. Posted a lot of stuff on my Instagram of my old posts, some of my collection. Actually went to Samurai Comics in Phoenix and got a couple of free comics. They were doing a cool sale, but I didn't actually buy anything. But yeah, good day. And then
to go for the free shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, they have the what is it? Gotham White Knight or something?
Yeah.
With Joker and Batman kind of switching places. So I've been wanting to read that, and I haven't had a chance, but that was the first issue for free.
Nice.
So if you haven't already, I know it's late, but make sure you guys celebrate Batman Day.
I'll celebrate Batman Day. I don't know.
What's the appropriate way to celebrate Batman Day? I think it's just post pictures on Instagram.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
Post a Batman picture because I think that's all everybody did. And like some people just dug out their old pictures. Some people I think bothered to take new pictures, but it's like if you got a Batman like Mezco or like a Batman pop, today was the day to post a picture of your Batman pop.
All right. Listen, before the day ends, I said I get to celebrate Batman Day. I will post a picture on Instagram of a Batman.
Nice. You gonna do that beyond or?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Actually, no. I know what I'm gonna do. I have that Chris Uminga statue.
Ooh,
that
nice.
Artist. So I might do that one.
Sweet, cool. Yeah, you should. But yeah, if you guys have been joining our live streams, we've been playing a lot of Spider-Man. We'll probably do another one soon. But Spider-Man is still a great game. If you guys have not picked it up, go pick it up. It's freaking amazing. But yeah, I know me and Jeremy are getting farther and farther along in the game. I think Scott might have beat it, or at least close to.
Yeah, we were talking right before the stream. I'm about 78% of the way through it, so I'm just on the cusp of beating it.
It's pretty good for just a week.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's probably the most intense I've played a game in a while. I think I played God of War kind of almost the same kind of way when that came out. So it's a nice kind of break. Like I said, just because I've had a lot going on, like I said, especially with the dogs and stuff. So it's been a kind of a nice escape from reality. Plus, it's just relaxing to swing through the city. Like I don't know, I literally don't know why they have a fast travel system, because I did the 10 fast travels to get my trophy. Because there's a trophy for basically you use Subway 10 times. But after that, I've yet to use the fast travel system because I'm like, there's no point.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was weird introduction. I'm like, why would I want to use fast travel? Because I've been swinging around the city the whole game up until this point.
Yeah, because it doesn't really take that long to get from like the financial district all the way to Harlem. Like,
yeah, it's not like you're just running on the streets. You're actually like swinging around. You're doing like different tricks along the way. It makes it fun. I agree with Jeremy.
I've perfected my web swinging, through that. So
nice. Yeah. I guess they just put it in there for the people who think their time's super valuable. Every second counts, and they just want to get there because they're over it. But I bet it's really not even a feature that's intended to be used very much. Yeah, I feel like swinging through the city, that's the most fun part of that game.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's kind of shout out to the chat real quick. Like I said, we haven't said it out. We record our podcast live on YouTube every week. So for our audio listeners, make sure to check in with one of our live streams one time. Instead of join the chat, because we always welcome you. So this week we have Matthew's Nerdy Nation, we have Studying Boys, we have Nerdsmithing, Bears and Tanks. What's going on, guys? Nerdsmithing basically was talking about Batman Day. He missed that gold Batman on Target from Batman Day. So I missed that. That gold Batman too.
Me too.
So he's like, I love that Chris Uminga statues. I'm missing the only one, and it's the Joker Batman. I can't find that Joker Batman anyplace, and I refuse to pay eBay prices for it just because I think I can find it.
How much is it?
It's like $100.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah, I'm like, I refuse. Like, I like it. I'm like, I don't $100 like it.
Yeah. No. Shout out to Werebut as well. Thanks for joining. And we got Denny in here now too.
Hey,
thanks everybody for joining.
Awesome. Nerdsmithing missed out on the gold Batman, but he scored tickets to that HQ event. I think it's next Saturday. So that's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what it is, really. It's some type of Emerald City Comic-Con kickoff like preview event at Funko HQ. Like I said, I think it's next Saturday, the 22nd. So check out Nerdsmithing's channel to get all the coverage on that, man. I'm sure he'll be posting pictures and making a video. So
that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Really cool.
He like I said, he's the hookup for HQ stuff. Like I said, he's always getting that HQ stuff. So that's awesome, because being lucky enough to live next to HQ. So like I said, I always enjoy seeing his posts, especially lately. I said that probably honestly the one thing that I said, I'm normally not a jealous person. The one thing I'm jealous of, like I said, is that Dino Ultra store that he got a hold of.
Yeah, like before anybody else too, right?
Yeah, so that thing.
I haven't seen anyone else with that. Yeah.
I said I've seen his photos floating all through Instagram, basically with him tagged in it. And then so the ones aren't tagged, and I'll actually tag him in it, because like I said everyone's using his photos. Like, oh yeah, look at it, they released the Dino Ultra Resort. That thing is freaking awesome. So
yeah, it's awesome.
It's so cool.
When's that? Do we know when that's supposed to come out? Like online or anything? Have you seen anything? So I didn't even realize I probably wouldn't have bought it, but I didn't realize the Batman thing was coming out this morning either.
Yeah, neither did I. Like I said, I feel behind in Funko news for some reason.
It's because there's too much Funko news.
I feel out of the loop.
Yeah.
Well, it's like almost daily now, right? I mean, you guys know better than I do, but
just about, man. Well, just about.
Well, speaking of Funko news, can we talk about this real quick? I actually
Yes.
have to give a shout out to Funko because I've enjoyed basically the games they've been playing on Wednesdays lately. Basically, they've been what people may or may not know is like so Funko typically has a problem with bots, and bots will basically go in there and buy basically all the products. That way, basically collectors and stuff can't get a hold of it. So lately, they've been playing, I said, a whole bunch of different situations. So they did something for the Fan Expo in Canada, where they did like the different. I said they did the different links for the different products, so it wasn't actually named the product that it was linked to.
Yeah, it was. Well, hold on, you're glossing over the awesomeness of that. They did their normal Wednesday release, but they titled the URL, which right they always do the title of the URL just of what the pop is. So this time they put one of the exclusives for this Fan Expo that everybody wanted to get was the Jeffrey Toys R Us Jeffrey as Iron Man. So they put the link, Jeffrey - Toys R Us - Iron Man or whatever. But the actual item you could put to your cart was a Mad Max pop that went up like 3 months ago that they never sold and had thousands of left over. So the bot saw Fan Expo and they bought it up. That thing sold out in like 2 seconds. So that was genius, right? I don't know exactly how many they sold, but say it was 1,000. Funko made like, what's 1,000 times $15? They made like $15,000 moving old stock. Because they let all these bots buy it up. That was genius move, man.
That is genius. Yeah.
Yeah, Nux.
That's a great way to a nudge to the bots. Like, we see you, and now we're gonna screw you guys up.
Oh, I've literally been having fun with it. I know a lot of people have been saying like, oh, except like on this past Wednesday, they messed with the time of when they normally I said that the release is at 7:30 in the morning. And I said it wasn't at 7:30 in the morning. It ended up being at some random time.
Like 9:45.
Yeah, some weird time. Larry said, "Oh yeah, here, this is there. Go get it."
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention, right? Like, which I do all the time anyhow. I get distracted, especially with the stupid Friday releases. 7:30 comes around every Friday, and I'm doing something else, like my job. So we back to work. We were talking about something, and I saw the alert on my phone. And it just said Bigfoot. I'm like, Jeremy, Bigfoot. And then like I turned around and bought it. We both got the Bigfoot holding a
marshmallow.
What's marshmallow? Yeah, like on a stick. It was like 2 or 3 hours later that we realized that the marshmallow actually glows in the dark. And it's even cooler than what I realized I was buying.
That's cool. And Jeremy, you recently got your Snap Crackle Pop, right?
Yeah, that was another one where it was like a weird release.
It's a password, right?
That's a password. And then so I ended up getting that, and relatively easy too. Like it's just so I've had some really good luck at the Funko shop just because they've been messing with stuff. So I'm like, I hope they continue to do that just because I quite enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Funko for that Rice Krispies one too, because they made 15,000 of those, and that fool cost $45. So $15 times 45 is a ton of money. Like $500 million or something? Like Funko
$5,000.
Say it again.
$675,000.
Yeah. So $675 in merchandise sold in like 10 minutes. So
$1,000.
as a Funko stockholder, thank you, Funko. That was genius. Like,
well,
awesome
Funko,
that they sell $500,000 worth of stock in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's clear Funko knows what they're doing, and they're trying to switch it up a little bit. I think to break up the scalpers and to let people actually get the product that want the product and not resold at a crazy high amount for somebody that is a true fan. So I think it's cool. And as of, you guys are bigger fans than I am, but even toy companies that I'm a fan of, I wish they would do stuff like that just to kind of switch up the game a little bit, just show that, hey, we're listening to you fans and we're trying to help you guys out.
Yeah, so Nerdsmithing says, hey, you should see the lines at HQ after 7:30 if the thing is a good drop. I can only imagine. And then Nicola said, basically, she said, cheers to the Nux and no returns. Is that what's the
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's the main thing, too, is once you buy this stuff, there's no returns. So if you accidentally buy something you don't want, or, it's even just like as a fan, a lot of times it's buy first and then question it later. Like the Bigfoot. I just saw the word Bigfoot and I'm like, buy. And then I realized when I bought it, oh, okay, cool, awesome. I don't have any.
And he's like, he literally just Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, you see more companies doing that too, like no returns, or they'll have like some type of non-refundable deposit. Like Mezco does that now, because I think a lot of people would order something and then see, oh wait, this isn't as hot as I thought it would be. Let me cancel it. But Mezco's already starting to production a long time ago on all these orders.
Yeah,
that's just a way to protect themselves.
Mezcos are still selling out quick too, right? Because they did a big release this week for New York Comic Con. Doctor Strange, right?
That's right. Yeah, they did a first appearance Doctor Strange for a New York Comic Con exclusive. I think it's going to be one of two. Usually they do 2 reveals, but man, I think sold out in like 30 minutes. I didn't get one because, Doctor Strange's cool, but it's not one of those that I have to have different appearances of him. I've got the standard coming. So, but I was surprised how fast it sold out.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like I said, for a weird looking Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, it was a different color scheme. It's darker colors. It's kind of like the first movie, I guess, if you think about it, but a little bit darker than that.
Yeah,
and more classic looking.
I actually like the non special one. I said that you ordered. Like I said, other than that, because it's actually got the spirit, like his like spirit accessory too. So
yeah, and that one's funny too because a lot of the times the standards won't sell out, at least on other retailers like Big Bad Toy Store. But that one is now actually sold out. It's not really going for much more, but I'm kind of surprised because they've increased production runs on Mezcos, so they don't sell out quite as fast as they used to.
Well, I don't even think I've ever showed you this. This is so that one that you have, what it's based upon is actually this first appearance. So with sorry, it's got this
that's badass
background. Yeah, so that's what yours is based off, where it has like that spirit in the background.
Yeah, out of the 3, because they've released 2 other variants, so the first appearance and then this PX one, which is like an all black and red. But I love the way the standard looks because it's got the red cape. It's got the blue outfit. It's got the Eye of Agamotto right in the middle of his chest. It's pretty cool.
I like it when we were just talking about something like non-planned and it just comes up and Jeremy's like, oh, hold on. Let me pull out this awesome comic book I just happen to have sitting right here.
Seriously, that was expert level right
awesome,
there.
Like I said, right by my desk, I just had to happen to have like all my CGC in one place. Like it just so happened to work out like a Spider-Man game. Like it's a
there we go.
Here's another one for the books. Look at that. First appearance of Miles Morales.
Nice, man.
Not bad. What's the grade on that one?
9.0.
Yeah, not bad.
If you guys don't know already, Jeremy's got an amazing comic collection, and he's showing it off a little bit there.
It's grown quite a bit over the years. So
you got some great stuff, man. A lot of keys.
Yeah, I've been consolidating. Like I said, I've actually been selling a lot of books lately, so it's time to dwindle down the collection a little bit.
Well, I think every collector kind of goes through a purge every now and then. You got to purge just so you can kind of refocus and like, I'm going to go collect this stuff now. I'm going to stop collecting this line.
But you just kind of evolve as a person too, right? And there's only so much money. You can only have so much stuff. So it just kind of, it flows.
Definitely.
Nicholas says, Jeremy is so much stance. I guess. I honestly, I'm so random in what I have and what I collect. Like I said, it's not like any one thing. Like so, it's like hodgepodge. Like it's just like random stuff, but it's all stuff that it's stuff that I like. It's like, you know what, like stupid, like I said, Ninja Turtle thing, or the stupid statues that I have. Like I said, it's just none of it necessarily, because I know there's some people like, oh, I collect straight statues or straight comics, or straight Funko, or straight this. It's so hodgepodge, but I like it.
Yeah, it works well. It all comes together.
Yep. If it's cool, you're gonna buy it.
Yeah,
pretty much. Speaking of cool, actually, I can't. That's not even a good.
Nice try. Sorry, Iron Fist.
I can't say cool and Iron Fist in the same sentence. I tried. I tried to. Speaking. Yeah, I can't.
No.
Okay, so the one thing that we were going to talk about this week was Iron Fist, and so I know none of us necessarily finished the series. I don't think, but
I did.
Oh yeah, Larry did. Yeah, so Larry finished the entire series. Me and Nate said watched a couple episodes. Just to kind of give our initial thoughts in regards to it. So I just want to kick off the conversation. I said, so you know what, Larry? I said, since you watched the entire series, I said, kind of what were some of your thoughts from the series?
I did like it more than season one. I think like it's been a while since season one came out, but kind of like I like the characters. Danny Rand's okay. Danny Rand's more likable in this than he was in Defenders. I think Defenders was just awkward, and he was kind of the weak link in that. That looking back on it like a year later, that whole 8-episode arc thing was just a mess. But right, Danny Rand's an okay character. I really like Colleen. Colleen's really cool. Joy and Ward, they're okay too. Davos, he doesn't do much for me, but like character-wise, there's some pretty good characters. I don't know, like the story was just okay. I don't like the whole, like, I don't know where they're going to go from here, but I don't like the whole, I'm going to cut you up and make you the Iron Fist kind of thing. Like, I don't like how that transfers. I mean, I'm sure that's like just straight from the comic books, but like, I wasn't really feeling that. And I think my main issue with these Netflix series, because I remember saying this in our very first episode of the STS Guys podcast when we talked about the Defenders. There's no cliffhangers. Like it feels like a chore to watch. Like about halfway through, like 5 or 6 episodes, I'm like, I don't really even want to watch this. I just felt like I had to for the sake of the podcast because I knew we were going to talk about it. So I'm like, I gotta finish this. But like, I feel like it's just a chore to finish these. Like things like Stranger Things or like I remember like Breaking Bad. Remember Breaking Bad used to always kind of be a little boring, yeah. And then they just hit you with something at the end. And you're like, oh my God, I got to find out what happens next. Yep. There's never an, oh my God, I got to find out what happens next moment in Iron Fist. Like it's just bleh. You just get the story. And like I said, the characters and stuff are okay, but man, they got to figure out a way to like draw me in and make me want to finish this. The whole point of Netflix is to binge watch stuff. And I literally struggled every time. Like, all right, I'm watching in between cooking dinner and like doing homework and that kind of stuff. I struggled to go back and try to finish the stupid show.
Yeah, man, I think you said that so well because it's missing that hook for me.
Yeah.
You know, like I couldn't even get through the first season. So I started the second one, and I agree. I like it better than the first, but it's at the end of those episodes where you don't have this huge incentive to like, oh, let me see where this goes, you know, which is weird because there's a lot of shows that can do that really well. So I totally agree with what Larry's saying. It's missing that hook.
Yeah, Nate and I were talking, and I said, Nate, I just kind of want to jump on your point too. I said, Nate and I were talking in regards to, I honestly felt like this could have been the first season, and it would have built up the character for me a little bit more because, like I said, normally I'm not a fan of flashbacks in a show, but I think this character needed the flashbacks just because I know a lot of people aren't familiar with basically the lore of Iron Fist, and the flashbacks in this served as a good basically pivot point in regards to like, okay, you know, this is the relationship with Davos, and this is the relationship of basically how we got the Iron Fist, and this is the history of Kunlun and how we got the Iron Fist, and like this to me actually should have been the first season. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you guys?
Well, the reason it wasn't, right, is because the Hand was the main villain in Defenders. Yeah. So they used Iron Fist to just set that up. That's the only reason it went that way. But yeah, I'm with you. Like it would have made sense, except they needed it for Daredevil purposes and then Defenders purposes. So whatever.
Yeah, and I agree with what you said, Jeremy. And it feels like a disservice to the character, kind of by what Larry is saying. They really used him in the beginning just to set up the Hand.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because everybody, I think for the majority, most people didn't like Iron Fist, the least out of all of them, for Netflix. Yeah, and I agree with Jeremy. It helps with the story a lot in the second season when they have those flashbacks immediately when they show something happening, and not waiting till the next episode to then explain something that was in the episode before, like they did in the first season. The flow is much better.
Honestly, my favorite, because I'm not all the way through the season yet. So I said I'm 4 or 5 episodes in. Literally, my favorite part of the entire second season so far is that flashback to where Davos and Iron Fist are tied together, and he actually wears the Iron Fist mask. Like that to me was badass. I'm like, all right, they're pulling in the mask. I'm like, this is badass. And hey, you know what? You guys are. I said, did you figure out who's gonna fight the dragon? you guys are going to fight until the death, or basically until one of you yields. Like that entire that scene, those flashbacks in that episode, like I said, were probably my favorite part of what I've watched so far.
Yeah, that fight scene was really cool. That's probably like there were a couple fight scenes that were good, but that one probably is the best one in probably the whole show. I really like. Did anybody else think that? I think it's the first episode, second episode. There's like a kitchen fight scene, and I'm like, didn't we just do this in Ant-Man?
Yeah,
like they need. I feel like TV Marvel needs to talk to movie Marvel and not give us two kitchen fight scenes back to back, because Ant-Man did the kitchen fight scene better than Iron Fist. Whatever.
When Wing basically beats up the teenagers in the kitchen, yes. No,
that one. Like, whatever.
Yeah, it did feel kind of reused idea and not as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
It's only because Ant-Man 1 was so cool with shrinking and growing and that kind of stuff. Like, but we did, like, as soon as somebody picks up a pot or something, I'm like, come on, we just did this, guys.
Right.
I don't know. I said the only thing I appreciated in that entire scene was basically you could tell all the teenagers in there didn't have money for real weapons. So what do you do when you don't have money for weapons? You make your own. So some guy made like these fake Wolverine claws out of knives. So the guy basically made like this mace. Basically, he like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a chain, put a whole bunch of locks on the end, and that's when he uses my weapon.
Is that what that was? Like I couldn't even like I was watching it on my phone, so it was small. So I'm like, I don't know what that thing is. Like I thought it was like a mace, but that makes sense.
It was literally a chain with like 4 padlocks at the end.
Yeah, they're poor, man. They're poor. They're hungry.
They're hungry.
Hungry, bro.
I'm hungry.
No, yeah. Like I said, I appreciate it so far for, for what it is so far. Like I said, it is better than. I said it's not basically the season of Boardroom that the first season of Iron Man was. I'm hoping. I said, and Larry, I said, I'm hoping at the end that we get him actually in full costume. Do we get him in full costume at all?
So we haven't said this yet, but spoilers. No full costume.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The stupid, like, the stupid image on Netflix.
Yeah,
I got real excited to watch it because, like I said, the thumbnail, the thumbnail. So when I turn it on my TV, him in the mask. I'm like, badass. I'm like, we're finally getting Iron Fist in the mask. I'm like, this is awesome. And then they showed it, like I said, in that little mini fight. I'm like, we're gonna get him. I said, we're gonna get him, in costume. They pull off a Daredevil costume. Why can't they pull off an Iron Fist costume? It's literally the same costume. It's just yellow at the top.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like Daredevil looked awesome in his costume, and it's classic look too. And that's kind of what you want when you're watching stuff like that. You just want a nod to the classics. Marvel movies does it really well by kind of adapting the classics into a new type of look, but at least you recognize it. And Iron Fist, or even Luke Cage, even though it had that one tiny scene. They could just have maybe a modern version of it, but not just completely change his look.
Yeah, I don't know. Like right now, they stick with I'm gonna wear a green hoodie or whatever.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Like Luke Cage, which it works for Luke Cage. It's like it's not a big deal to me. It would be kind of cool to see him in his suit, but not gonna happen. I don't think.
I think just because we have Daredevil in his suit, I think that's and they've proven, like I said, throughout the entire MCU, so that you can pull off a realistic suit, even in the stupid Spider-Man game that we're playing now. So all the villain suits are really based in like reality, like they're realistic suits that could actually be like I said, it's just everything you see is like, you know what, I could actually see that being based in reality.
It's like it's like the Andrew Garfield Electro versus crazy yellow thing coming out of my head, Spider-Man animated series Electro.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of stuff, right? Well, it's updated. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, it's like they're not embracing the fact that they're actually superheroes. Like, you're a superhero. It's okay to look a little bit different and maybe have a suit on so people know who you are. Yeah. And it's like they're trying to keep that side of themselves hidden. Like, oh, I'm not superhero. I'm just average guy that's got powers. Like, embrace it. That's what we want to see.
Everybody knows who Danny Rand is anyhow.
Yeah.
And they know he's the Iron Fist.
Said it like a million times. Like, he's like, I'm the immortal.
Yeah. Right? He said it enough. We all know.
Yeah.
So, so again, spoilers. But you guys want to know how it ends?
Do
I
it.
don't think you're gonna watch it, right?
I'll probably finish it. Like but
it's worth slowly finishing. You know, either that or you can just watch Parks and Rec. So the reason why Danny isn't going to wear the green and yellow Iron Fist costume because he's not the Iron Fist. Davos steals it, and then guess what? They steal it back and give it to Colleen.
What?
Oh,
Colleen is now the Iron Fist.
What?
Yeah. Didn't see that coming, did you?
No. Man, why do they do stuff like that?
I'm not sure. That's why I'm like, I alluded to it before. Like, you're just passing it around. I hope Danny doesn't. Like, I'm sure Danny's going to get it back, but like, it's weird.
Iron Fist is herpes.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Flash a little bit. Like, at first they started introducing different Flashes, which was cool. You know, like recognizable ones. But then now everybody's like sharing the Speed Force. It's like, what the hell? This is no longer unique.
There was that episode where, what's her name? What's his wife's name?
Oh, now I'm drawing a blank because I can't think
Iris.
Iris.
Where Iris has the Speed Force, and she's a speedster. Yeah, no, absolutely. And now the daughter's in it in this new season, and she's a speedster, of course. Like, yeah, 2 inch speedsters, and everybody gets the power, like, and the same power.
Well, it makes it not like as special anymore. It's like, okay, this is not even fun because everybody has this freaking power.
Yeah. Well, so the other guy's lost it, right? It has to transfer. So Danny doesn't have it at all right now. It's just Colleen, because Danny was afraid that he's addicted to the Iron Fist power or whatever. So when the opportunity came for them to try to get it back, he's like, I don't want it because like it's causing me to be addicted like Ward. Right, Ward's got all his NA meetings and stuff. Like he's like, I don't want to be like that guy. So, hey, Colleen, I love you. Why don't you take the Iron Fist?
So one of the things that I heard does Orson Randall show up
at the very end? Very, very end. So they part ways, right? It kind of wraps up, and there's still like 20 minutes left. So Danny and Ward go on this epic trip to Asia to learn about the history of the Iron Fist, right? Because he wants to find out how it happened and all that stuff. And they end up looking for that guy.
Yeah, because Orson Randall. So for those of you who don't know of Iron Fist lore, he's also imbued with the power of the Iron Fist. But like I said, he can actually transfer that to weapons. So he actually basically is Iron Fist basically with guns. Like he has like 2 pistols, and he's basically the Iron. He can transfer that power into basically the weapons he fires.
Yeah. So the very last scene is Danny with the 2 Iron Fist guns that I guess they stole. So it's right. It's weird, but it was kind of cool. Like I had to look that up to see like what just happened there, and that's where I read all about that guy. Like he's a newer character too. He only got first appearance like 2007, something like that. Yeah.
He's newer. There was a great Iron Fist story arc back in 2007. Like I said, I forgot who. I think it was Brian Michael Bendis who wrote it. Basically, who brought the character kind of back to life because like he wasn't really in anything for a while, and like I said it was just kind of like side shelf character for the longest time. And they released like so this Iron Fist series that was actually pretty good. And actually introduced Orson Randall into it.
Yeah, and that's like where this whole like next step is going to be, like the lore that there was more than one Iron Fist at a time and that kind of stuff. So. I don't know. Like it kind of drew me in to find out what's going to happen next, but
well, and if they do that, like I said, like so the Orson Randall version of Iron Fist, like I said, if they do that storyline, kind of like in those comics, I would actually watch a 3rd season of this because, like I said, that comics wise, it was almost. I think the best way I can kind of describe Orson Randall is imagine Iron Fist mixed with like Red Hood. From like Batman. Like I said, it's basically he's a freaking badass who will kill people too. He's like he doesn't care. Like he's actually will take justice into his own hands and like literally was, you know what, I'm wiping everything out. I'm just taking care. I'm just wiping everything out, taking care of business. So I hope they follow that storyline because that storyline is actually pretty cool.
That's cool, and I like when they expand like the gallery of characters. Like I want to see more about the universe. You know, that's one thing I think. Some other shows can do really well too is like show me more people that are in universe, make me more invested into it. So that's cool.
Yeah. So I quickly Googled Matthew Nerdy's Nation question. Did Colleen ever have the Iron Fist in the comics? It doesn't look like it. No, so I think that was artistic liberty that they're kind of setting up their own thing there.
Yeah. No, I don't remember her ever having that.
Yeah. No, I one article, right? Small, not a whole lot of research, but that one article said no. So that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
What do you guys think about that? Like, would you prefer they stay pretty close to the comics, or do you guys, dislike when they stray away and start making their own storylines? What do you guys think?
So I have my own. Like I said, my opinion on this is, like I said, it's okay if they stray away from the comic books, but I don't know why you have to, because you have basically the basis of a great story already written for you. Like I said, and you just literally, as the writer of the show, just have to translate this into live action. So I think it works for some things, but it doesn't work for others. Like, so for example, like I said, I know that's a big thing on The Walking Dead. So you have the Walking Dead comic, but you have the Walking Dead show. They said there's striations between the comic and the show, which I think works in that type of show. But like I said, in this type of show, like I said, it's a very hero driven template that's not as basically long running as like Walking Dead is, which I think it's hard to basically take your own artistic liberties, just because you already have a character basically that not a lot of people know about. You have a basis of the story. I think you can basically translate that and be good to go with it. So in this situation, I don't think they should have.
Yeah, and I don't know who any of these characters are anyhow, so it doesn't matter to me. Like, for all I knew, Colleen was always the Iron Fist, right? Like, so whatever. Like, as long as you're telling a good story. But I totally agree with Jeremy's point that there's really good source material. Like, if you're doing it right, you probably don't have to create a whole lot of stuff. I get that, especially like with this extended universe stuff. You want to do some things where you can tie it all together more. And really, I think the Colleen thing was just to give a strong woman superpowers. And that way she can be the focus of the next season if they want, or whatever. I really think it's all about that kind of, like, you got Black Widow or something. And but like
the politically correct society that we live in.
Yeah, Jessica Jones. Like, everybody loves Jessica Jones. They're like, well, guess what? We have an Asian Jessica Jones in Iron Fist. No one like Danny Rand. Let's give her the powers and people will love her. And like I said, she's my favorite character out of that show. So I don't have a problem with it, other than that it's a little weird and awkward.
Yeah, totally valid point too. I think they're trying to, kind of dominate on that a little bit by like, hey, let's show some girl power. But, kind of what Jeremy was saying, I think it's weird when they stray away from the source material because they have such a rich universe to build from, especially with characters that are smaller like this or not as recognizable. So I think the best way to, recognize a character is by using an existing storyline from like a comic to make it click like, oh yeah, I remember reading this. It's awesome that it's translating. And then maybe in season 2 start changing it up like they did here. So I guess it works, but
I think too, like I said, Colleen was already a badass. I don't think she necessarily needed the power to make her like badass, because she was already a badass. I said that very first scene, like I said, we were joking about the kitchen scene in the very first episode. She took down, like I said, 6 dudes at one time. Like I said, they were like everyone in the kitchen she took down.
Yeah, she does that a couple more times. Like maybe it's not 6, but it's always like 4-on-1 , and she
defenders too. Like such.
Yeah. She holds her own with Daredevil and Luke Cage and stuff, and she isn't bulletproof. She doesn't have the fist.
Which
you're right, unnecessary.
Stronger, like at that point in time. So
right, and it's almost like you're messing with the flow of these characters now, because Danny's supposed to be like kind of the big strong guy of the group that helps out when things get real bad, but she can hold her own when it's at a certain level too. Yeah, and now you've sort of changed it up. And what is Danny supposed to do?
Well, Danny's going on a road trip with Ward to Asia, which really, that last scene, it's like one scene in a bar or something, but it was pretty good. If you make like a good like buddy cop show thing of Ward and Danny Rand hanging out in Asia and looking for this dude, like I hope we at least get like an episode or 2 of it. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a 3rd season. Like I said, this season at least gives me hope. That like I said, that you know what, we have a character, we can develop this character. Like I said, it's not just all office room boardroom meetings, which like the first season. That I said, I think the one thing I just want to mention before we stop talking about this too is you can tell the fight choreography that he's actually had time to actually train and fight.
Yes.
Because what a lot of people don't know is for the first season of Iron Fist, what's Finn Jones? He literally trained for 3 weeks. That's the only time they get. That's all the time they gave him before he had to start filming. He had 3 weeks of martial arts training, which totally showed in that first season because the fight scenes were not good at all. I said you can tell he got a little bit better in Defenders. He's way better, just even in that opening scene to season 2. Way better. I said way better at the fight choreography in this. So like I said, I'm anxious to see kind of where that goes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Totally.
Yeah, me too.
The fights.
We should bring up one more. We should bring up one more thing. Matthew and Tyler both gave props to Misty. We haven't talked about her at all either. Misty Knight from Luke Cage. She jumps in here for quite a big role. But yeah, she does really good. Like she's a great character too.
With her Stark Industries arm.
Yeah, weird, right? Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. I kind of forgot. Like I didn't watch Luke Cage season 2. I kind of forgot that she lost her arm in Defenders. My bad.
Oh, and somebody else mentioned this. Speaking of Marvel Netflix, but Daredevil season 3 has been announced. So
yeah, and there's
about that.
There's a super quick little teaser at the end of the credits, like an after credit scene in the last episode of Iron Fist.
So looking forward to Daredevil season 3 because Daredevil is probably my favorite, and followed by Punisher. So that first season of Punisher was great.
Yeah, hands down, those are the two best.
Yeah, and I still like Jessica Jones. I just finished Jessica Jones season 2. This week too. It was all right. It was all right. It had its the David Tennant episode.
The David Tennant, like I said, the very first season of Jessica Jones was awesome. David Tennant episode, like I said, kind of throw back to the first season, was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So her mom being the big bad, come on.
It was okay. I didn't like the mom.
First season, it sucked. Like that first season, David Tennant, I think I'm sad that they killed off David Tennant because like I said I think they could have kept his character arc going, or even like said made her drive her nuts, and they have him in a couple more episodes than he was in the season 2.
He could have been a good supervillain, like one that takes a while to take down. You know, he's there for like 2 or 3 seasons.
I'm sure they regret that.
Yeah.
Like you said, at least the second season they should have milked it for that, but nope.
He was great in that role.
He was. Really and just that one episode was awesome. It made the series. Like the other there's 13 total. So the other 12 were like, But that one with David Tennant, I'm like, oh, I like this. I wish it would keep going. Like you said, I wish he would come back and haunt her more. Like we knew he was going to be in it because like there were set photos and stuff. I thought he was going to be in it more. And I totally wish they would do that. So hopefully season 3, he comes back a little bit too.
No, I agree. Speaking of haunting and stuff like that, like I said, just because we're talking about Netflix series, like I said, if you haven't watched it and aren't aware of this, there's actually a new Sabrina show coming out on Netflix called The Haunting Adventures of Sabrina. If you're not familiar with this, it's basically this isn't your teenage witch, talking cat, happy go Sabrina.
Yeah, it's not Melissa Joan Hart.
This isn't Melissa Joan Hart. This is devil, satanic, actually witch Sabrina, fighting demons and stuff like that. Like it's an awesome. Like I said, the trailer and it looks awesome. It actually takes place in the Riverdale universe. So if you haven't watched Riverdale, which like I said, I had no desire to watch Riverdale at first. I waited for the first season to wrap up. I tuned it in one day, like I said, when it was on Netflix. I'm like, man, Archie's actually a badass. This isn't your mom and dad's Archie comics. This is like adults.
Yeah, like murder
Archie comics. Yeah. Like it's weird. And so the Sabrina show takes place in the same universe. That series is coming at the end of October. So basically, since Stranger Things is basically not debuting in October, this is basically the filler for that, just because that season got delayed a little bit. Season 3 of Stranger Things got delayed a little bit more. So
yeah, it looks. We all watched the trailer last week together, and it looks really good. Yeah. I haven't watched Riverdale. I watched like half of the first episode, and I didn't give it a fair shot. But
it gets pretty good.
Yeah, so maybe I'll go back and watch some Riverdale. But yeah, I think it's October 23rd, so expect a STS Guys podcast all about Sabrina coming really soon.
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Exciting.
You know what else is exciting for 10 minutes? The September 13th Nintendo Direct.
What?
They dropped some bombs.
Yeah, just a couple weeks after they dropped all those Smash Bros. Bombs.
Yeah, it's exciting to see how much Nintendo's investing in the Switch. Like they know that this is a system seller, and so they're investing everything they can into it, and it's awesome because I love the Switch. But,
me too, man.
Yeah, so like big reveal, Animal Crossing. I didn't play the first one, but they revealed that there's going to be a new one. Do what?
I know a lot of people love that game.
Yeah, it has a huge following.
There's a 3DS one that Ian's played that I know he likes a lot. I've played it a little bit. There's an app too, right? They have a mobile game. I think it's like Animal Crossing Camping or something like that. That's pretty popular. So yeah, a full Animal Crossing on the Switch, January I think of next year. I think it's going to be pretty huge.
Yeah, and it's not like a port or anything either. Like,
no, I think they didn't show much about it, but I think all the Animal Crossing games are kind of similar. Because I've actually I have the one for the DS. It's same concept as the one for the 3DS. So I think they're similar, but like it should be a new story and new tasks and new neighbors to meet and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of excited about that. Like I haven't pre-ordered anything yet, but I'll definitely be checking that one out.
No. Plus, like I said, another big kind of announcement was their online platform is launching next week, I believe, right?
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Yeah. So with that, you actually get some classic NES games that they actually updated to where you can actually play them multiplayer online, and kind of that was already announced. But one of the other announcements that they had in this latest direct was I said that you can actually buy now classic NES wireless controllers, which is kind of a big deal because that a lot of people were wanting that classic NES feel. So they're actually released basically wireless actual NES size and feel controllers.
And they're kind of Joy-Cons because they'll slide onto the side of the Switch to charge too.
Yeah, you can use them like Joy-Cons. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they look awesome, except for that $60 price point.
Ouch.
Yeah, Nintendo accessories, man, they're always expensive.
Yeah.
And this is definitely expensive for what it is, but it's pretty darn cool, I gotta say.
It is, but do you want to spend $60 to play Icebreakers with the right controller? Is it $60 cool?
No,
I don't know, man. Probably not.
That's a good point. And they're releasing some Japanese one. They look like the Famicom style, so they're kind of like red and tan.
Oh, cool! I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So they're doing it for both countries. But yeah, like to Larry's point, $60 is a lot to ask for just to play a classic game in the classic way. But you can still do it with the Joy-Con.
Yeah, I'm excited about I'm sure I won't play it a lot, but it's got some new games that aren't on the NES Classic, like some of the sports games. Like it's got ice hockey and I forget the entire list, but I know there's some new things on there that aren't on the NES Classic. So. It'll be cool. And then this is just wave 1. They already showed some of the stuff that's going to come out in wave 2. It sounds like they're just going to keep adding to it. So it's going to get better and better. And it's included in your reasonably priced Nintendo Switch Online subscription. So that's awesome.
It turns out to be like $7 a month or something like that. I know it's something crazy cheap, or $20 a year.
Yeah, it's $20 for 1 year. When you compare that to PS Plus, which normally does go on sale every year, but still. The base price is $60,
which there's differences. Like I said, I think because a lot of people keep on comparing that. I said, I'm like, oh, Nintendo, they said it's so much cheaper. The one thing is that I don't mind paying the $60 or the $48 I can normally get it on sale for a year of plus, just because the one thing that PS4 and even Xbox has that Nintendo doesn't. It's not that easy to chat with your friends that are playing the games online with you. Like I said, it's a terrible platform. You can't do it.
True. Yeah, they have a robust online system on the PS4, and it works really, really well.
Right. I don't want to. I haven't even looked at how it works, but I don't want to download an app on my phone in order to be able to talk to people. Like that's a miss right there. So hopefully like Jeremy and I were talking about, like, right, it's probably like a kid thing. They don't want kids talking to adults. Like, that's cool, but hopefully they figure out a way to make that work. Because, you know, Fortnite on the Switch, you can talk to people. You just need a headset that it plugs in. You don't need an extra app or anything. And that's a huge game right there. And lots of kids, lots of adults play it. Hopefully that, like, year 2 of this, they correct that pretty huge mistake.
Yeah, and, you know, with the modern way of games now, and every platform has this: PC, Xbox, PlayStation, except for Nintendo. You can talk to people.
And you can stream.
Yeah, people just expect that. And to take it away and to label it as like a child protection thing, like, that's a little weird. You know, I don't know. I agree with Larry. It's a big miss.
And they haven't talked about streaming, but I'm guessing there's not an easy stream button like there is on Xbox and PlayStation. Like, because Nintendo hates people who live stream their games, right? That's a huge miss too, man. Let the kids go out there and just click stream now and stream all their Mario Bros stuff. Like, it's free advertising for you. Like,
that's one thing I don't understand. It's like I said, it's free advertising. You know what? So for example, if like I'm just using one of the gamers or one of the people that you're something like Dan TDM. Like, if he's streaming, like I said, the newest Nintendo game, you know what? As your kid, your kid's gonna go want that game because, like I said, his icon, his YouTube icon is playing it online.
Yeah.
I don't see the reason why they have a problem with that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where all these kids found out about Fortnite.
Yeah,
like this is where they learn about things. Is from these YouTubers who have millions of subs and stuff. When they get their hands on something and endorse it, like, that drives the market for sure.
It's free marketing. I don't get it. You know, it's people selling your game for you.
Yeah, they're just a little behind the times, I think, right? You gotta catch up to 2018. Kids don't watch TV anymore. They watch YouTube videos. You know, maybe you watch a little bit of Netflix, but like my kid barely turns on the TV anymore. If he wants to watch something, it's either YouTube or he just fires up like the Cartoon Network app and watches stuff on demand. Like, there's no live TV is especially for our kids, it's dying. Like, I hope everybody realizes that there's this whole market of, you know, under 18 that doesn't look at things the same way that we did, and you better get with it quick or you're gonna miss out.
Nurse Smith says he uses Raspberry Pi 3 for Retro games. I use the same thing. So you may have tuned into one of our retro Sunday games. Like I said, I might do a stream tomorrow like that. That's how I stream my retro games. So I'm totally on board with that myself, Nurse Smith thing. And then Studying Boy says live stream is marketing for games. So absolutely, like I said, it's marketing. It's free marketing. You know what? You're not having anybody pay. You know what? This person who has millions of subs, they're playing your game for free. It's free marketing.
Yeah, and there's millions of people watching them play your games, like right instantly. It's crazy.
A different comparison. I know we talked about the difference between Nintendo and PlayStation. I'm going to do another thing. You know, they're introducing these free classic games. I wonder if they're going to go the way of PlayStation Plus by giving us like actually AAA titles sometimes for free every single month. You know, give me a early release, you know, first year Switch game for free 1 month.
As much as I would like that, I don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening.
And the reason why is because they said, look at Odyssey right now. Like how long Odyssey came out right now, or all these original launch Switch games that came out that are still the same price. So they go on sale every now and again now. So you get a couple sales, but they're still full price games. Like, it's just, they love milking the money out of their games. I don't see them getting you. So they just barely started tapping into NES games from the 80s.
Yeah, as much as I hate to admit it, you're right. Yeah, they can demand what they want because it sells.
Exactly. So I as much as I would want that to happen, I just don't see that happening.
I know. Same. The freebies are going to be the NES and then Super NES. Maybe you get some N64, GameCube stuff for free, but to get an actual Switch game, especially like Nintendo proper, like a Mario or Mario Party or something, probably not. Maybe you get like a Kirby, something like that. But like, they're not going to give you Zelda. Like all their main stuff, like Jeremy said, it never goes on sale. Like, it's hard to find a Mario game for cheap. Like, some of those 3DS games finally went on sale for like $30 instead of 40, but it took years.
But yeah, and every once in a while you see like, one of those games get discounted for a couple of days to like $15 less, like 45. I know we jumped on a couple that way. But,
yeah, you helped us out with some good deals on Mario Kart 8 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but even
it happens.
Yeah, even during Black Friday, sometimes you won't see any deals on Switch stuff. I had waited till Black Friday to get my Switch, no deals. Yep. They know what they have is a big seller, so they're not as willing to do that, which is a little unfortunate. It's like you guys said earlier. I feel like they're just behind the times a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
As much as I love Nintendo, they're almost classic to a fault.
No, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Like even like you said, Black Friday, I wouldn't expect much this Black Friday either.
Yeah.
Maybe like that Mario versus Rabbids game or something that nobody likes. Like that'll be a couple bucks off, but
yeah,
maybe Mario Kart 8 because it's kind of the port or whatever. But
or you'll get some third party like the apps like so that are some third party games that are cheaper, but
not the main Nintendo proper stuff.
Yeah, even though we're I know we're at 10 here, but there's still a couple other things I just want to talk about that came through Nintendo Direct. They released one more character in Smash Brothers, which is Isabelle from Animal Crossing, I guess, to go with the Animal Crossing announcement. So
yeah, there's already Villager from Animal Crossing, so I don't know if it'll just be like a different skin or if she's like a full-on character, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's one of those characters where I'm like, oh, I don't really know who that is. But that's cool, I guess, to add another character to the already amazingly huge roster of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So that's kind of cool.
And Luigi 3.
Yeah, Luigi Mansion 3, which I haven't played any of the other two. Have you played any of those, Larry?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure what to expect with that, but I've heard they're really good.
I've played the original one. I think it was on
GameCube.
Yeah, on GameCube. Yeah,
GameCube.
It was pretty fun. Like it reminds me of I'm trying to even think of the game that reminds me. Like it's just like you go around collecting ghosts and stuff for like points and stuff and doing different things like that. There's actually a from the screenshots they showed and kind of the little bit of footage that they showed, it kind of looked like there's actually a thing right now at like Dave and Buster's and like a main event right now that of an arcade game that's actually based on this. And it almost looks exactly like the Luigi's Mansion game that they showed. So I wonder if it has anything to do with that.
Could be.
But I'll give it a play when it comes out.
Yeah.
And then I said, Nate, I don't know, the Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe.
That's kind of cool. I mean, so I know we've talked about this before, and I had said before we talked about the Nintendo Direct, I'm like, man, I hope they give us a new 2D side scroller. I know Larry has said this before too, but they did. But
this is a new
remake. It's a remake of a past game. It's like a deluxe version.
Yeah, you get to play as Nabbit and you get to play as Toadette. Like, other than that, I'm pretty sure it's the exact same game.
Yeah, those are just skins on Mario. And, you know, it's like, that feels like a cheap gimmick. Just give me some new levels. Maybe give me a different game mode or something.
And I was searching for it to find out the price. It's not. I checked Amazon. It's not on Amazon for pre-order yet because that's going to be the deal breaker for me. If it's cheap enough, yeah, I'll get it because it's a fun game. Like I wouldn't mind checking it out and having it on the Switch. But if it's $60, no, thank you. Like we have it for Wii U. We played it. We beat it like multiple times. I don't want to spend $60 for a game I already have.
It should be discounted.
Should be.
Yeah,
but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe wasn't.
I was just gonna say that until we waited till it dropped to 45 and then got it 20% off that. I didn't.
Yeah, and that's fine too. If it takes 6 months to drop to 45 and then we get a 20% discount off of it, then I'm back in. But like the full 60, no, I don't think so, man.
I agree.
Which is like I said, can we talk about that for a second too?
Sure.
Why is every so Amazon? Like I said for those of you who don't know. Amazon actually used to, for part of your Prime membership, you used to be able to actually discount brand new titles. Used to be able to pre-order for 20% off. They recently sunsetted that program, so you can't do that anymore. Best Buy also announced around the same time that they're also ceasing their Gamers Club Unlocked, where you should basically do the same thing, where if you pre-order games, games, you get a 20% discount. Where they're stopping that as well. Do you think? What do you guys think? Do you think this is going to harm? I know people buy games anyways, but what do you guys think in regards to this?
I think it's going to hurt Best Buy. Best Buy should want all the sales they can possibly get.
I agree. I think Best Buy making the same change that Amazon did. Like, I'm sorry, but I've been going to Best Buy to buy my games strictly because of Gamers Club Unlocked, and without that, there's no incentive for me to go there.
Nope. Well, here, yeah, to your point, I stopped buying games at Best Buy because I said, you know what, that's because me and Nate almost got into an argument one day. I'm like, you know what, I don't need Best Buy. I don't need Gamers Club Unlocked. I got Amazon Prime. I'm like, I can already do the same thing. I'm like, if I'm gonna pre-order a game, I'm like, can you already get it 20% off? I'm like, whatever. I think it's Amazon, whatever. They don't need the money. They said they literally could have kept on doing this and it would have dominated. They said you would have gotten so many other people. I said if everybody else stopped doing this and they continue to do this because they don't need the money. And I said they can discount the games. So who cares? But
yeah, I thought it was surprising.
That's why stopping this surprised me, just because, to Larry's point, they should basically be fighting for every dollar that they can get right now, just because they're getting basically cannibalized by all of these other competitors that are out there. There's no, like I said, I don't go into a Best Buy anymore. There's no point for me to go into a Best Buy.
Yeah, I agree, and I like getting stuff in store just because I don't want it to be shipped and the worry that it's not going to arrive on time. Yeah, that's always been a concern of mine. But and another thing about Best Buy is that was a little bit different is that they let you do it on games that had already been released. So I was a little bit more willing to take a risk on a game that I wasn't too sure about, but the fact that I was getting it for 20% off anyways, I was like, okay, I'm already getting it below retail. But now that's even another, nod to what you're just talking about. I'm not going to go to Best Buy to get new games. I'm just going to probably go to GameStop where I can trade something in and get a discount that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's weird.
Shame, Best Buy.
Shame.
You're going to be Best Buy is going to be the Toys R Us of 2019.
Yeah, it was sad, man. And that was a good deal too. It was $30 for like 2 years, and I know I saved more than $30 in 2 years.
Oh yeah, easy.
You buy 2 games, so you buy 2-3 games. Like I said, you pay for it right there.
Right, it's at least $12 a game that you're saving. So yeah, it's crazy.
No, so I said maybe Best Buy turns into Toys R Us, or maybe Amazon cannibalizes. You know what? They did it to Whole Foods. Let's see if they want to display their electronics and stuff. I'm like, what if they do the old purchase of the old Best Buy?
Yeah,
it's possible. Or they just let it die and they're good, right? There's no benefit for Amazon really to get it. They don't need the real estate or anything. Just let it die. Crush the competition.
Yeah, and even nowadays, I mean, there's less Best Buys around than there used to be. So
yeah, there was one by my house that shut down a couple years ago.
Yeah, there's one close to where I live that shut down. Yeah.
I mean, there's still one 15 minutes away. There's 2 separate ones that are both about 15 minutes away, but we had one that was like 5 minutes down the street. They shut down quite a few years ago. So.
Well, and I think it's like the times, and this is obvious that now that I'm bringing this up, I'm like, why am I even talking about it? But everything's become so readily available. There's no reason to go to Best Buy to get that stuff anymore.
No.
And they don't discount anything. They still charge a premium.
Right? It's the problem that killed Toys R Us. When you're not offering me any incentive to get there, like any cheaper prices or more expensive prices, you're just carving your own tombstone.
Yep.
Oh, I agree.
That's a metaphor.
If any saving grace, they let me use it at least until it expires, which is March next year. So
nice. So we can get Animal Crossing for 20% off, and
we can get all the stuff that's going to be coming out around the holiday season still.
Dude, and there's seriously, real quick, there's so much. There's Pokemon, there's Mario Party, there's Smash Bros, there's Animal Crossing, and there's that Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. That's 5 games right there that we just said we're not going to buy the Mario Bros, but that's 5 games that I kind of want. We're gonna I only have 3 or 4 Switch games right now, but by January, that's gonna double.
Yeah. And one last FU to Best Buy before it expires. We should all just do one big purchase of games that we want to get before the deal goes out.
The last day.
Look at all this money we just saved, you assholes. Turn it off.
It's a shame, man, for sure.
It is. It's really sad.
Oh well.
Well, I think you guys have anything else for this week's episode?
No, I think we're good.
Maybe there we go.
So if this is the first STS Guys video you're watching, or if you're listening on an audio format, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We play some games, we do some unboxing videos, and we record this very podcast live on YouTube every Saturday night. So yeah, check us out. Search us up at STS Guys, or go to stsguys.online. It'll take you straight to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Instagram at STS Guys. You know what? We're on Twitter at STS Guys. We're even still on Facebook at the STS Guys. And I am Larry from the STS Guys.
Showing like a villain.
We missed you last week. Nate
did a great job.
Nate heartily stepped in. Like I said, I do have to admit, Nate did a great job last week.
He did a great job. Man.
Thank you. Larry has taught me well.
Yep. So no clue what we're talking about next week, but we'll be back live Saturday night, 9 p.m. YouTube. Be there and be square.
All right, guys. So for episode 53 of the STS Guys, I've been Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey, guys, it's been Nate.
And we're the STS Guys. Have a great night, everyone.